unsupported runner from LA to Las Vegas. James, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, dialing in, joining. How far
Thanks,
are you
Aaron.
into this thing?
That's a good question. I am about 125 miles in. So this is day 2 of the speed project. Actually, I'm going to correct you only because people get like pedants around the whole supported, unsupported. I'm self-supported.
Self-supported. Perfect. All right.
So only that you basically, that means you can take, you can go into gas stations, you can book a hotel if you want, as long as it's available to everybody else, you can use it. Self-supported is you have to carry everything from the start to the finish, and that just sounds ridiculous.
So tell me this. Um, how many other, I think there's 23 solo runners. How many others are doing it in your style?
I'm the only one. I did it this way last year, but it didn't quite turn out how I wanted. So I'm back this year. Just a backpack, a bivy bag, yeah, a little tiny stove, and gas stations and convenience stores, and yeah, whatever I can find along the way. And at the moment, there's not a lot around, so it's kind of pretty wild.
So are you doing a similar route to previous years? So you maybe have an idea of where you're going to get fuel?
Yeah, so this is my 3rd year. So the first year, I did a really stupid route over. It was great, but it was super dangerous over Mount Baldy. And then this year is like a refined version of last year. I it's good. It's good in places, and then it's like nothing for 50 kilometers. So I had 50 kilometers between dinner last night and breakfast this morning, and I slept a bit in between, so it wasn't so bad. But you sort of have to just, when you find somewhere, and obviously not everything's open 24 hours. So when you find somewhere, you buy a load of stuff, and then the obvious flip side is you've got to carry it. So it's always this balance between buying, $100 of food and then realizing you've got to carry, 4 bottles of Gatorade, and suddenly in the backpack it becomes twice as heavy. So it's a bit of a game, that part, And this year I've actually got a little tiny stove and some gas and a couple of freeze-dried meals because I was just hungry the whole time last year. And
Yeah.
this time, yeah, it's a bit. I'm maybe doing a little smarter.
So with the help of the stove, you're not going from famine to feast and back again?
Yeah, well, I haven't used it yet because on the first couple of days there's quite a lot of gas. I mean, right now there isn't, but there is coming out of LA. You're spoiled for choice. There's shitty junk food places everywhere. But it's when you get out. When I'm now in Adelanto, which is well, it's famous for a airplane junkyard. It's infamous, perhaps, and it's just over in that direction. But there's nothing now until for about another 20K, and I haven't seen anything for about 10. So it's a kind of longish stint, and when you get like a full day, the sun's out. It's 1:30 here, so you just kind of get this. It's pretty warm, and you just have to suck it up. But the idea is not to go from feast to famine. You're right. I think maybe tomorrow, when there's a road called the Yermo Road. It's about 100 miles long. Doesn't really have anything on it, and it's just straight. And that'll probably be when I get my stove out, make some coffee, make some chili con carne, and at some point. But we'll see. It's a bit of a get out of jail free card, really. Right? If I don't have to use it, I won't.
A 100-mile long road. I think there might be a couple of meals involved in that, right?
I know, probably. I mean, I say I don't think I'm on it for 100 miles, but it is about 100 miles long. When I did it in the first year, I did the full 100-mile route, and it was pretty. It's just monotonous. It's just this. You're basically 500 meters to the right of the freeway and the freeway traffic, and you can see it over on your, as you look left, you can see it the whole time, and it goes the same way. It's like it's the old road. The Yermo Road is the old road to Las Vegas, and since they
Okay.
put in like a 8-lane freeway, clearly no one uses that. So it's actually pretty safe. It's one of the safest parts of the trip, but it's pretty monotonous.
So how was your first night? Did you get much kept? Did you try and move in the dark, or what was the first night like?
Yeah, so it wasn't the world's best sleep. I won't lie to you. I don't know if you can hear with my earphones on how windy it is.
I can hear a bit of
What
wind now.
from
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just been, this wind has been continuous pretty much from when we started at Santa Monica Pier yesterday, and it's cold. you can't see. You probably can just about right in the distance, right behind me.
See
There's
some peaks.
the snow and that wind is coming in that direction, so it's bringing the cold air off of the San Andreas mountains down across on this sort of altiplano that we're on now. And it's just it. So to answer your question more directly, I slept about 4 hours, but in two spots. In the first spot, I slept for a while, and just the wind was driving me nuts. And then I moved on for about an hour and a half and found a bizarrely, given how far we are from the sea, a sort of broken boat, and it was providing a bit of cover from the wind. So I had a couple of hours after that. So I got going back on the road this morning at about 5 a.m. So I've been going since then.
And what has your nutrition been like since you got up out of the bivvy? Have you had anything substantial today?
Yeah, no, it's been shit. I had a I had a they have these weird processed pastries that bizarrely include cheese and cherries, and they're strangely quite good. Yeah, yeah, obviously it's America, so
Anything
cheese,
tastes good whenever you're getting out of a bivvy.
yeah. And then a microwave burrito from a liquor store. It was pretty bad, I have to say. Yeah, and then some Haribo and some Gatorade. So it's been low on nutritional value, but and pretty low on taste as well, actually. So I'm hoping. I know that there is a town coming up, and there's some stuff there. When you find something, often it's quite good. The gas stations are crazy, um, but yeah, it's a bit few and far between. And then my intention is to get well, my intention is to get beyond Barstow, but I'm contemplating maybe getting a motel for 3 or 4 hours tonight because the wind is driving me a bit insane and it's hard to stay warm. I mean, I've got good kit, but it's just continuous the wind, and unless I can find a really good spot, I'll probably get a cheap motel and take 4 hours in the motel and get a shower.
Okay.
But Barstow is a shithole as well, so it's not like I'm going anywhere salubrious. It's just it's a random collection of sort of trucking towns and train stops all the way to Vegas.
You
I'm
you
not
will
really
make
selling
up
this, am
for it
I?
when you get there.
I'm not selling it, am I? And no one's signing up to this. It's really fucking good, but it is a off the beaten track, and I guess not necessarily for everybody. But there's no aid stations with cheese and things like that, like you get in France on those sort of races. It's very. I mean, the whole thing is it's no rules. It's not supported for the other runners. They just have crews and in RVs. But it's a vibe. But yeah,
Dirt
maybe it's
bike
not
ultra
for.
running at its finest, right?
It is dirtbag ultra running. Yeah, that's for sure. I think
So,
it's. I think a few people might have underestimated this trip as well. A few of the. I'm hoping they haven't. I hope they. Well, I do. Well, I don't care, but I hope they have a good experience. But yeah, it's definitely a postgraduate race for sure.
well, regardless, they'll come out of it with a experience, and that leads to
Yeah.
something. So, I don't want to keep you too much longer. We're on 8.5 minutes. I want to keep these all to 10, and I know you're chomping at the bit to get down the big road. But can you briefly explain what's this OG route that we hear about? Because
Oh yeah. It's a little bit confusing, but um, there's very briefly. There's no rules. There's no definitive route to get from Santa Monica Pier to the Las Vegas sign, but the OG route is the route that was done by the original Nils and his friends at the original route. And since then, because you can choose any route you like, it's kind of been refined and people have found a shorter route. So I think the shortest route now is something like 290 miles. So if you do the OG route, you have to do the full 340 original route. So there's sort of two categories. There's like any route you like, and then there's the OG. You must follow the original route.
okay, and because you are self-supported, you don't have to stick to roads. You can take
No, no, no. I mean,
shortcuts through trails,
I'd
right?
rather not stick. I'd rather not stick to roads because you're on the hard shoulder, and there's not much hard shoulder, and at night it's pretty sketch. I have to say, it's not my favourite thing, and that you end up moving off the road onto the hard shoulder amongst all the broken lorry tires and things. So it's a bit on and off the road. In fact, yeah, and if I could do less road, I would. But right now, I'm in the middle of sort of dirt road section, which is there's no traffic, and it's quite nice. And actually, the nearer you get to Las Vegas, the quieter the roads become. But the first 100 miles coming out of LA it's oncoming traffic for most of it, and you're on the hard shoulder. There's moments,
America is
honestly,
made
when
for
you're like,
cars, not people.
no, I know. There's no, and the cars are massive, and the trucks are massive, and it is a little bit sketch at times. Sometimes there is the hard shoulder is, is less than a meter, and you're like, shit. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So the OG route, it's the original route. It's 340 miles.
Cool. All right. Look, we'll not keep you any longer. I hope maybe we can
Okay.
check in with you again. I'd love to hear how some of the gear and stuff's going, but for
Yeah, man.
now, we
Because
will wish
as I
you.
said to you on the message, it's not like I've got anything else to do. I'm just gonna keep trucking on. But yeah, let's catch up later in the week.
Okay, mate. Take care. See ya.
We can do. Thank you, man. Cheers.